Okay, so these are my 3D glasses. And so first I'm going to go through and show you what the hopscotch actually is, and then I'm going to go through and do it. Yeah, because it's kind of hard to explain while you're doing it. Okay. Because it's kind of hard to explain what you're doing. Okay, Larissa? Alright, goodbye. Okay, so number 1, obviously. And then there's 2, 3, 4. I'm obviously not actually doing it, but we would go this way. Yes. Okay, so this is the Super Mario section, and so this is a tunnel, you know, that Mario goes down, and he would go down here, and then you come up over here. Woo, creative, right? Okay. And then these are the boxes that you jump and you hit, and in the middle one there's coins. Then we drew a Yoshi. It was a really crappy Yoshi, but we drew a Yoshi, and his tongue is out, and he's trying to get this blue shell. And then there's Bowser. And then we keep going, and oh, what's this? It's a ghost. And this part is actually really cool in 3D. And so, if you probably already noticed, this is Pac-Man.
Car too. Yeah.
Okay, so Pac-Man. Alright, and then we did this whole Lego thing, and so these are Legos, and you go up the Legos, and there's the top Lego, and then you go down the Legos. Right? And then this is a narwhal, and and it's because they are so awesome. Yes. Okay. And then we just drew a little bridge so it would be easier to get to the next thing. And so, what's this? A broom! A broomstick. And those are goalposts because this, in fact, is a game of Quidditch. Yes, it is. And so this is the quaffle, and this is another broomstick, and you go to the bludger, and then it's another broomstick, and you go to the second bludger, and it's another broomstick, and there's the other goalpost, and another broomstick, and then you go on to the snitchy, and then you jump onto Rumble Roar, because he's magical, and you could ride on his back if you're a good student. And then that's the rocket ship taking you to none other than the school Pig Farts on Mars. And so there's Pig Farts and there's Mars. And then we came up with this really cool part that says DFTBA. So it says, don't forget to be awesome. And then, because we are such dedicated YouTube fans, we have Charlie McDonald in his purple state with his purple boxer shorts, and he's Purple Man, and that is what they call him because that is what he am. Yeah. And it says I look better in purple because that's what his shirts say. And so that's him with red hair, and yeah. And then, more of YouTube fun stuff is I want to be Mrs. Naramon. And if you know who Charlie McDonald is, you obviously know who Naramon is because they're both awesome. Not to mention they're British. And then, with a little house and a lawn, because that's part of the song, and then it goes, and watch our love go on and on and on and on and on and Naramon. And that's the end of that section. And then it says, have a duet with yourself. So in these type of squares, you have to actually do what the square says, and that's what we like to do in our squares. But we didn't do a whole lot of that this year. We only had about one square that does that, and so when it says have a duet with yourself, you actually have to have a duet with yourself while you're playing hopscotch. Yeah. And so then after that is number 84, which is our first record. And then it's what is a TARDIS? And then we got to this whole Doctor Who section. Yeah. And so TARDIS stands for time and relative dimensions in space. Alright, so what does a TARDIS look like? Well, we're getting there. So, because of Doctor Who, this is a Dalek, and a Dalek is the Doctor's worst enemy. And it says exterminate, exterminate, because that's what it says. It's all like exterminate, exterminate. Okay, and so that's the little clutch thing. And so this, actually, these are the lasers. They go all the way down. And they actually have this really cool effect when you're wearing the 3D glasses, so it looks like you're stepping in and it pops out. And so, wait, I haven't even looked at it myself. Oh my gosh, that is so cool! Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's awesome. Okay, anyways, so, and then it says, pew, 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 right? And so then it keeps going to 100. And so then this is our TARDIS. Okay. And it's a police box, you know, the kind Doctor Who has, and it has a little light on top, and it's the police box, and that's, you go to that square, and then this square, and then this square. It's all basically one square. We just put it in the door because we thought it looked cool. And so 103 was last year's record. Actually, it was 102, but 103 beat our record, so I just put it there by accident. Okay. And after that, we traced my friend Alicia, and we got the Doctor! Oh, fancy! With his big bow tie, and he's wearing a fez, and his awesome British hair. Yeah. And then his super duper sidekick, Amy Pond. Well, in this season at least, and that's Amy Pond, and with her red hair. She usually wears something red, too, but I forgot to draw that, and I didn't feel like drawing that, so. And then you can go back in time with your TARDIS. That's right. And so in this section, basically you would go wee, because that's what they do in Doctor Who. Okay. And so so that would be that. And then after that, you go to the dinosaurs, back in time with your TARDIS. And so the first dinosaur you would meet would be a pterodactyl. And then after that, it says rawr. Velociraptor. Rawr. Brontosaurus. Rawr. Do that dinosaur. Yeah. Which is in fact another YouTube video. We just like to incorporate it all together. Yeah. And then this last section says happy 17th birthday, Alicia, because it's our friend's birthday, and it's a tradition that we do this extreme hopscotch every year for her birthday. And so, yeah. But that's not the end. So there's candles, and we made them especially, so there's a 3D effect, but you probably can't tell, so yeah. And it actually looks really cool. And then it says, even though your birthday passed, because her birthday was in fact 2 months ago, we don't know why she had her birthday party this late. And then it's the end until next year. And so the number to keep in mind is 126, because that is our new record. And so until next year, 126, extreme hopscotch. Yes. And now we're gonna have fun and play hopscotch. All these people. Yeah. Good times.